I'm gonna turn on a light and I'm down to get started.
Hi, Matt.
Hello.
How
Matt,
are
what
you
does your
doing?
coffee mug say?
I'm tired.
I imagine so. So am I. I had to get up early and go get coffee.
I say, Matt, what does your coffee mug say? You like big bitches and fat booties?
Yeah, like Tom
Did you
Hanks.
steal that from me?
Criminal. I like big boats, and I
Oh,
cannot lie.
boats. Okay, I didn't
Oh,
really think I
nice.
said booty.
I'll be. You're Anthony Mackie and I'm Mark Wahlberg. You like
Yep.
those big bitches? It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
I'll be the rock. Praise Jesus.
Go ahead and grill some hands, Sam.
Yeah, yeah. If Matt was
Um,
still at the Amber Ridge Apartments, we would be grilling out there for this episode.
I can't do shit at this place, even as a joke, because my psychotic neighbors are
Oh yeah.
suspicious
Is the
of
trash
everything.
incident still going on?
Not at the moment, because we're not putting our trash out there anymore. So yeah, it's the most ridiculous thing ever. We're having to take it to the dump. Um, yeah, I really think we should report them for fucking harassment because now it's at the point where we're literally having to pay to throw our trash away instead of just using the trash bins outside. Because, these fucking pieces of shit just won't leave us alone.
What is your tax dollars going to then?
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know.
It's
But
certainly not getting illegal immigrants out of the airport.
well, if that's fine with me because I love Victor Navorsky and I don't want him to leave the airport.
Fair, fair.
I'm not Stanley Tucci.
You
Um,
put your bald head in my coochie, Stanley Tucci.
that was hilarious. I have my own Stanley Tucci saying that we'll get to once the episode starts, that I have always found to be true, time and time again. If you can, ladies and gentlemen, what I want you to do is, of course, picture this. And I was watching this movie and I said to myself, I know for a goddamn 100% fact,
I am not a crook. I have never been a crook. And I will never be a crook.
Fuck it, I will rent it. I don't care.
It's really on me. As James Cameron said, the Navi hang dong like donkeys.
This is the 3 for 3 podcast.
oh, you motherfucker.
How does it end?
What you gotta look up is why is the internet debating whether Nancy Reagan gave good head?
Oh my god! I was not expecting that turn. What the fucking... What the hell?
Send me the goddamn quote of him saying that.
What the fuck? Kind of pissed me off they put the shit porn over that.
It's a bunch of goddamn fucking bullshit is what it is.
Bags up, everybody. Bags up, feet up, coming through.
There have been a lot of times where I tried to slide it out without breaking the cookie. Didn't quite work. Like, don't put this shit on us.
I was like, we didn't do
You motherfucker. And what is that movie about? Fuck if I know, man. Honestly.
Amen to that.
It's just a...
That's been a 3 for 3, my friends.
Picture this.
3 for 3. Now that's really cool.
Welcome back to another episode of 3 for 3. I am your host this week, Mr. Matthew Patterson, and I am joined by my two co-hosts, Mr. Jackson Workman and Mr. Samuel Holler. And we're bringing you some underrated gems from some directors that have some big names. We've got Mr. Spielberg coming in this episode. We've got Mr. Bay coming in this episode. And we've got Mr. McTiernan coming back yet again this episode. I think this is our first Michael Bay of the podcast, though.
Our first Steven Spielberg, our first Michael Bay, and our second John McTiernan.
Yes. I wasn't sure. I thought it might have been our second Spielberg, but the fact that it's our first makes me happy because this is one of his most underrated movies, and I cannot wait to talk about it. However, before we get to Spielberg, before we get to Bay, we're coming back in hard with Mr. McTiernan, with one of his biggest odysseys that he has made, which is the only connection that I have made so far from last episode, which is Sam's pick, which is the 13th warrior. Sam and Mr. Banderas, take it away.
Picture this, folks. You're a fucking 6-year-old Sam. You're just waiting for your papa to come home from his night security job, and you are just wide awake, and you got nothing to watch. And he comes in, and I'm like, Dad, what do you want to watch? Bruno Mars just got arrested for cocaine use. And what movie does he fucking throw on? The goddamn 13th Warrior. He said this movie he watched in Iraq numerous times and it meant a lot to him. So I was like, okay, let's fucking check this out. And before I get into the plot, I just want to say, as a child, this movie scared the absolute fucking shit out of me, which is why it has cemented itself deep in my heart. So, you're Antonio Banderas. You're playing an Arabic man, which is totally correct in 1999's day and age. You are coming into this movie that is written by Michael Crichton. Yes, almost. Nope.
He wrote the book the movie was based on.
Okay, I thought he did the screenplay. My bad. Well, the book is being turned into a movie, and you're Antonio Banderas, and you want to play an Arabic man. Not only that, you want to let's see if I get the fucking name right because I got to look at the DVD. Omar Sharif is now your best friend. Sorry, I didn't want to get that wrong. I almost wanted to say
The president of Tarakistan is in this movie?
Yes.
I didn't know that. Wow.
You're an Arabic man, but you've been dipping your honey or your pot in the honey or whatever the fuck the phrase is. Your honey's been potted. And so you're kicked out of Saudi Arabia and you're just going on a journey to find out the meaning of life, to find out the meaning of Muhammad, to find out the meaning of why those Vikings smell so bad. Because lo and behold, you stumble upon a Viking ship who is saving you from the Turks because the Turkish are coming and they're gonna fucking slice and dice you and steal all your shit. But these Vikings mean business. And so you decide, fuck this, I'm gonna go live like a goddamn hick and join the Vikings on their little quest. And lo and behold, if you know the story of Beowulf, you know this story pretty much to a T. Because once you get to that little Viking village that they stop at, there's some bad shit going down. People are being murdered in their sleep. They're taking the heads off of the men and just leaving the bodies, which is okay because they're still fuckable. And so you decide that you are going to join these people and learn their language just by sitting around with them, which makes all the sense in the fucking world. Because every language is the same language. It's just a different jumbling of letters. Capiche? It's all about meaning. It's all about intent. And once you understand their meaning and intent, then it's fucking golden. And so you are fighting these fucks for this town to save the village. And these fucks are some ground dwellers. They're some dark ass fucking people who are gonna come and murder you. Sorry. Whoa. Pause. And so they're really like they're mole people. It's kind of freaky. And so the fire snake, the chain snake is coming for you. And so you're in for the ride of your life. You're fighting baddies, you're taking baddies, and you're fucking ogling over the sexy Viking men who are wet and dirty and hairy. And that is the 13th Warrior, because you are one of 13 warriors who can save the day from this monstrosity. And that is John McTiernan's The 13th Warrior. I will get into how I feel about it after y'all dive in. I'm very curious to know what you think. I don't know. I'm assuming it's your first time watching for both of y'all. But every like 6 or so years, I watch this movie again, and it just hits every time for me. I don't know what about it does it for me, but it just fucking does it. And I can watch this movie anytime, anywhere, any place. Well, I said anywhere, any place, but you know what I fucking mean. It's the 13th Warrior, bitch. John McTiernan, action's goated. Plot could use some work, but action's goated. So.
Hell yeah. That was a pretty interesting description of it, Sam. I mean, it's pretty accurate for the most part. I just, I had some similar thoughts at similar points. Um, like Antonio Banderas playing an Arab, and they keep calling him Arab, but he
Little
does
brother.
basically call them white man. So the whole movie.
I would just like to point out the fact that this was right after Mask of Zorro, in which he was the only actual Hispanic actor in a cast full of like British and Welsh people and pretending to be Mexican. And here he is he's a Mexican playing an Arab in a cast full of like, Scandinavian people. It's just interesting, the switch this time. Last time he was the only appropriate casting. This time he's the only inappropriate casting.
Yep. Um, I mean, this movie is definitely like badass. It's got its moments of just great action, but it's John McTiernan, so of course, this felt like a little different for him, but like also the same, if that makes sense. It felt more mature, just a little bit. I don't know, not that his movies are immature inherently, but it just felt a little different. I was really fucking with it. I've seen this a little bit before, but I would call this a first watch because I watched this with my dad when it was on AMC like years ago,
Hmm.
and I did not really watch the full movie. I think I came in like 3/4 of the way through, so I only remember the ending kind of. Um, but yeah, this goes some wild places. They basically were like, "Hey, we're gonna send 12 of our men and then one random person just because we don't want to actually kill everyone because we assume you're not gonna make it back," kind of shit. Um, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. Clancy Brown showing up. I'm pretty sure he's in this movie. He is in this movie.
No.
Oh, he's not. That dude looked like Clancy. I was like watching. I was like, that must be Clancy Brown, because he looked like, you guys know who I'm talking about, though, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say. There's one dude who
He
just
does
looks
look kind of like him.
extremely
He's
like
just
him.
beefy.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit, he's doing an accent. I was kind of surprised. Because it looked. I swear to God, it looked just like him. I didn't look at the credits or anything. I was just kind of.
Which guy are you talking about?
Oh, I can't pull his. He was like in the near the beginning of the movie. I think he died semi quickly, but
Oh,
if I can, when you're doing your thing, I'll see if I can find a picture of him on IMDb. Because I swear to
I,
God, it
I
looks.
fully believe that it really was Clancy Brown, and then when Crichton took over the reshooting directorial duties, he nixed any and everyone because they aren't the eaters of the dead. They're the fucking warriors that aren't 13.
Yep. And then one of my favorite lines is when Antonio Banderas cuts down his sword a little bit to make it lighter, and then the guy's like, "Give an Arab a sword, and he'll turn into a knife." And I was just like, "Damn." He's like, "Can I give that to my daughter?" And I'm just like, "Damn." And then she put cow urine all over his face, and he's probably like, "These fucking dirty ass Scandinavian people, like, what the fuck are you doing?" But at least the pus didn't come out of his face, and he didn't have a fever and get an infection. But yeah, I really enjoyed watching this. It was kind of one of those that I put on yesterday morning, just sat on the couch, laid there, and just let it happen, unfold in front of my eyes, and I had a great time with it. Um, yeah, I cannot complain. Jackson, what did you think?
Real quick, Jackson, I need to shout out Jerry Goldsmith. I forgot to fucking mention that.
I feel like we've had many, many movies where
Okay,
he scored him on this cast.
this dude right there in the
Yeah,
middle,
yeah.
that's the guy who I thought
He
was
gets his
Clancy
head cut off
Brown.
really early on.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was.
that does look like Clancy Brown.
Okay, thank you,
Oh
thank you.
shit. Yeah. No, I can see that for sure. That does look just like him.
That's why I was like, I could have sworn it was him. Turns out it's not. But
Wow.
I didn't
Easy
look at the.
mistake though. If I had noticed him, I would have thought the same thing probably.
Trying to think of the other Goldsmith scores because I know we had L.A. Confidential, and he did seconds, but I don't know what else. I know we've had something else with.
I just know that like recently we've had like I've pointed it out many times
Mm.
that we've had
I mean,
scores of his on the show.
as we said with Ludwig Göransson, has a fucking sound. You just know who wrote that
Oh
music
yeah.
from the get go.
There have been times, yeah, where I didn't know who was composing it, and I was like, "This sounds like a Jerry Goldsmith score," and then I ended up being right. But yeah, it. So this was. I was very curious about this one because the only thing I knew about this movie was it was notorious for being one of the absolute biggest box office disasters like in film history. Like lost 120 something million dollars when it came out, was an absolute bomb. Didn't really know much else about it, like the story or anything like that. So, but I'd always been kind of curious about it just because of its place in like box office lore and stuff. So when Sam picked it for this episode, I was like, oh, okay, I'll finally get to check this one out. Plus, I've always been curious to kind of see more John McTiernan movies outside like the big ones, because this is the first one outside of like the big Infinity Gauntlet, of his movies, like the Die Hard movies and Predator and Hunt for Red October. So I was like, okay, let's see what else he's got to offer. And I had mixed feelings about it. I want to start by saying I completely see why, this movie has such a dedicated cult following. I can see a lot of people enjoying this for a lot of different reasons. I can definitely, this is high key, like a movie. Sam, it makes sense to me that that's how you got into this movie, because this is high key one of those movies that you watch when you're a kid and you fucking love it. And then when you get older, maybe you realize like, oh, this isn't like this has problems, but you still have that fondness for it and shit. Because it's one of those movies that I'm sure if I saw it when I was younger, I would have loved it too. However, the problem is, well, okay, I'll start with the positives. Very well directed. Cinematography is gorgeous. Oh my God. Like so many of the scenes in this are so well shot. That scene where it's night and just it's the shot of like the distance and all the torches coming down and just like them coming over the water and all the fucking torches are lighting up the sky and everything. I was like, God damn, that looks amazing. And so many of those scenes, the final battle at the end I thought was very well shot. All the action scenes were very well directed. Production design was great. I thought all the technical aspects of it were very well done. The actors were trying their best. Like Antonio Banderas, you just, you know, uh, the man cannot not have Riz. Like, bro's just got Riz out the fucking ass all the goddamn time. Doesn't matter what movie he's in. Doesn't matter how underwritten his character is. He's just got Riz for days. And so there's that. And Omar Sharif in his little part, that's a gripe I have, is he was only in it a little bit. I wish he was in it more. Returning from Dr. Zhivago all the way back at the beginning of this podcast, and I would say returning for more ink, but that was not the same Omar Sharif. But yeah, so all that was nice. The problem is, first of all, you cannot tell me, and I did research it, so I kind of already know this is the case. There is clearly a much longer version of this movie that exists because this movie is so goddamn condensed and rushed, and the plot is so goddamn just rushed and paper thin.
Yeah,
There
I was about to
is
say.
no character development at all in this movie. None. It is
Well, I would
literally
say
just
Antonio Banderas goes from being a poet to being a warrior, but then he goes back to
right.
being a poet.
But I consider that more plot than character because they don't do a lot along the way to show you his transformation from poet to warrior, other than just he has to go through all these things. Like, there just was I thought like if the movie would just slow down and just actually have and there are clearly many things you can't tell me this wasn't originally like a 2 hour plus movie that had a lot more character development and let a lot more scenes and plot points kind of you know develop more and they just cut it the fuck down because first of all that's what it feels like. Second of all, I read that that is what happened. The initial cut, they completely re-edited the movie and reshot it. Sam alluded to it. Michael Crichton directed a lot of reshoots that totally changed the movie. And, so much so, it was so extensive that the release got delayed by a year. So that tells me that it was very extensive, the whole retooling of the movie. And yeah, it feels like, this was the theatrical cut of Kingdom of Heaven, and I want the goddamn director's cut. You know what I mean? Where
Yeah.
like the theatrical cut of Kingdom of Heaven is the same, where you're just like, what the fuck is going on? Like this feels so goddamn rushed, and just the story is so disjointed because it's way too plot heavy. Whereas when you watch the director's cut, they actually slow down Michael Sheen doesn't just have one scene and then die like in the fucking theatrical version. They actually take time to show his character and his relationship with Orlando Bloom and stuff. And so when he dies, it's meaningful. And that's just kind of what this felt like. I'm like, give
I
me
have
the
some great,
McTiernan cut.
I have great news because I was doing some Reddit message board research after watching this, and there are rumblings that Arrow Video is releasing a director's cut of this, and that they're working on getting the all that shit together. So
That's good to hear because that's what I was thinking for a lot of the movie was, damn, I would, because I can tell that there was a great movie in here at some point because it's so well made and the story was interesting on paper. It's just that none of the characters were interesting to me and none of the plot points mattered because like what was the whole plot point with the son like scheming against them was completely unnecessary. There's like two scenes of it and it's never brought up again. There are no consequences for it. I was like, this was clearly a much larger plot point that they cut down drastically. I'm not even sure why they left any of it in the movie because there's no purpose for it in the final film. They never explain who the evil mountain people with the bear costumes are, or what they're actually doing there.
cannibal.
And all kinds of shit. They apparently reshot that entire scene where they fight the mother, with a different actress. Like Michael Crichton directed that scene because he wanted the mother lady to be completely different.
She scared the
Um,
shit out of me when I was younger, and
I'll
still
bet.
does today.
I'll bet. All those monsters, I'm sure as a kid, were probably pretty scary. But that was my main issue. I really, really wanted to like it. And I was vibing with it for about the first 15 minutes. But then once I kind of realized like, oh, we're not gonna and Diane Venora, who's like one of the only other big name actors in the movie and is billed second, has like 4 lines.
Yeah,
Which again tells me that like she probably had a much bigger part originally and they cut her scenes down like a lot. And there was other stuff too, like all the setup at the beginning with him being banished. I feel like that should have been an actual part of the movie. Like I actually wanted to see more of that. And instead, just voiceover narration just skips it. It's done in the first minute of the movie. And I'm like, oh, all right, then. Well, I guess we're moving on. But yeah, and this movie almost made Omar Sharif retire from acting, apparently. He shit talked this movie quite a bit after it came
yeah.
out. Yeah.
But
So but that being said, I get, if you enjoy it, if you're willing to overlook all that and just get invested in the story, especially if it's something you grew up with, I totally, because there are a lot of fun action set pieces and, um,
you said it exactly. It's not a part of his Infinity Gauntlet. Like if I hear John McTiernan named, this movie is never brought up in the conversation, and I'm like, God damn it, it needs to be because it actually has some substance. It's just hidden behind a fucking veil, and I was so excited when we were like, let's do an underrated Jim special because I've been waiting to find a way to get this on the cast, but I just didn't know like my angle as to why I need to defend it. Because if you on certain days you could watch it and just throw it away, certain days you could watch it and just really be absorbed. Um, but I don't know. That's I guess just the facts of life, everyone's own interpretation.
right. And being that this is the underrated gem special, I expect each of us to make a passionate defense for our case. And, I think you made yours pretty well already. Because that's the thing, this isn't a movie where I'm gonna be like, oh, how the fuck can anybody enjoy this? Like, I get it, like just for me, I had my gripes with it and stuff. I just think it was a mess, and you can tell that they cut it down, and because when I saw it was an hour and 42 minutes, I already thought for a movie like this, that's a pretty short runtime.
Well, I
And
was expecting, yeah, like a 2 hour, 20-minute movie at least.
right,
That's what I was already kind of going into. And it, like you said, when it said that, I was like, oh, I can finish this before I go to work. I thought I was going to have to like split it up. And
right.
then,
And then also, apparently, another scene that Michael Crichton reshot that wasn't in the original, the like leader of the Vikings like getting back up and coming out for the final fight was not in the original script, which kind of makes sense because how the fuck is he gonna not only fight but defeat the leader of these warriors when he's half fucking dead?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like that doesn't really make any sense, but and then what I didn't expect at all was for this to be like the ever after version of Beowulf. I was like, okay, interesting. I had no clue because as soon as at the beginning when they're like, King Hrothgar needs us to fight an ancient evil, and I'm like, what the fuck are we doing, Beowulf here? Like, what the hell's going on?
Hell
But
yeah,
it's the ever after version where it's like, oh no. And the ball's on Michael Crichton because apparently his inspiration for the book was he said, Beowulf is a boring, overrated story, and I'm going to tell it the right way. He said, I'm going to do it in an interesting way that actually makes sense. And I'm like, the ego on you, sir, to say that about like the oldest story in
Once you
existence.
write Jurassic Park, inflated head right there.
Yeah, I'm like, I love Michael Crichton. He's a goated author, obviously, but I was
Something I
like,
wrote
all right,
down
that takes some balls.
something I wrote down that Omar Sharif said was that this movie was a meal ticket. And I'm just like, damn. Well, yeah. Everyone
Yeah.
just got paid to eat. There was
He
no
said he
life
said when
meaning
that when
moment.
that movie came out, I said, "Let us stop this foolishness." He almost retired because of it, but yeah. But I don't know. And it's I don't know. You can again, I really appreciated a lot of the technical aspects of it. I thought it was, like I said, very well shot. I appreciated the production design and everything. And you can tell there was a much better movie in here at some point. I would love if they ever made a director's cut. I would love to see it because I think it would be much, much better. Um, but and then
Especially
there were
for
only, again, as far as like character development stuff. I could, out of the 13 of them, or the 12 that weren't Antonio Banderas, I could pick out maybe four of them that were like actual characters. The others, I literally were just background characters basically to me. So I was like, I really wish you had kind of got me invested in all of them. But, you know, but yeah, I definitely didn't like hate it or anything. I was just definitely a bit bored by it in the second half.
Mhm.
But appreciated it for what it was, certainly.
Oh yeah. Well, do we have any more comments, thoughts, prayers on the 13th Warrior?
You watch it right at sunrise, because then you'll have the darkness of what they're going through and the sunlight that comes through at the end.
I don't disagree. It was a good morning movie, honestly.
See, I watched it late last night,
Hmm.
and that was also interesting.
Oh yeah.
But I can see this like kind of slapping. You just put it on like right when you get up at like 8 in the morning or something.
Yeah.
Hmm.
We do
Well,
have a minute. We have 1 minute and 21 seconds.
yes, we shall start.
That's all I need if I ever met Antonio Banderas.
Oh shit, I need half that time.
My
I'm a
boot's
half
gonna
minute
be
man.
my boot's gonna be in his puss, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I'm keeping that in.
Oh man, I
He
feel
better
like
make his last
we should
wish.
we should be able to see the timer so people know how quickly we start making jokes right when the time's gonna
Timer.
run out. It's always right when the time's about to run out. We just start boom.
Throwing them all out.
So are we done with the 13th Warrior? Any more comments? Or
Antonio Banderas can get it
Yep.
any day, any time, any place.
Exhilarating, adventure, terrific. It forgot to say a little boring at the bottom.
Honest movie reviews.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
but yes, now we turn our sights to another underrated gem. This time with three people who can also get it. My choice this week, which is Michael Bay's sleeper hit, Pain and Gain, starring Mark Wahlberg, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and Anthony Mackie.
That is not Anthony Mackie. What the fuck?
What
They
the
had to
fuck
put some-
indeed.
It makes no
They
sense.
said
He's
that-
not even on the back either.
Wow.
Kind of
He wasn't that big at the time. He wasn't as big as he is
I think it's kind of he had led a Best Picture winner at that point. If they're keeping him off of that thing, then they're assholes.
I've got a joke to make, but I don't know if it's gonna get cut, so I probably shouldn't make it.
And in the one photo he's in here, he's not even facing the fucking screen. He's turned away. They just don't want you to know that Captain America's in this goddamn movie.
I Captain Her America until I hurt locker.
Hmm.
Which you still need to see, Matt.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. Oh yeah, I'm getting that on before the season's over. Yeah, that's happening.
I rebel her Wilson till I pitch perfect.
2 and 3.
Yes. In all in one night. But yes. So this is based on a true story. I haven't done this in a bit. Picture this, ladies and gentlemen. You are 3 bodybuilders working in a gym. Your names, I don't remember the names exactly, so I'm just gonna say the actors' names are Mark Wahlberg, Anthony Mackie, and The Rock. I remember Daniel Lugo being Mark Wahlberg's name because that's a crazy ass name
Paul
for a crazy
Doyle
ass
and
person.
Adrian Doorball.
Yep, crazy names. Honestly, fit for a story. And you guys are down on your luck. You want more for yourself. And who do you train? If you're Mark Wahlberg, you train Victor Kershaw, played by none other than Tony Shalhoub.
The GOAT.
Monk.
Is great in this movie, and he is a right cunt. That's the only way to describe it. He is just the world's biggest asshole, and he plays it so well. And you decide that you're gonna kidnap him while wearing some ninja costumes, and you're gonna beat him with some sex toys, and you're gonna take all his shit. And while you do that, you're gonna start doing massive amounts of cocaine. And guess what? Against all odds, this crazy dumbass plan actually works for a second. And you get all of his assets. You now own the gym. You own his house. You own his businesses. And guess what? Everyone likes you more because you are crazy, but you're not assholes. Well, you are assholes, but you pretend not to be. And
Lovable assholes.
Yep. Lovable
For
assholes.
Miami standards.
Correct. And you got some side characters in this, like Rob Corduroy as the gym owner, or gym manager, should I say? Rebel Wilson as Anthony Mackie's love interest, this is like one of the few times where she's not insufferable because she's not trying hard to be funny. She's just playing a character, thank God. And
Ken Jeong.
Ken Jeong, I forgot Ken Jeong is in this for like a hot second as the motivator, the motivational speaker.
Just as bad as fucking I forgot the name from Wolf of Wall Street. God damn it. Belfort.
Jordan Belfort.
Yeah, sorry. I knew Jordan, I just wanted to get the last name right. I wanted to say Balfour at first.
Jordan Balfour.
Yeah.
Like Eric Balfour. Anyways. And yes, the one person I haven't mentioned yet is after all is said and done, and you've ripped him off. Well, guess what? You guys are fucking idiots, and you can't kill him. You try to crash his car with him in it. He gets set on fire, and then you say fuck it and try to run him over. And you can't even do that. So what do you do next? What happens next? Well, he's still alive, and he wants vengeance, man. He wants his money back. He wants his life back. He wants you to suffer. So who does he call? Ed Harris.
Carl Fogarty. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Coming
Rest
back
in
again.
peace, Carl Fogarty.
Yep.
An American hero.
Yes, because if we've learned anything from this podcast, the last person you want looking for you is Ed Harris.
Yep.
Because he will find your ass. And he sure does. He finds you. He figures some stuff out. He realizes that, Victor Kershaw is a right cunt. But what they did to him was just un-American. And damn if that isn't part of what this movie is about. So while he's trying to find them, they're running out of money because they're doing coke. They're spending it all. They're going kind of crazy. Mark Wahlberg's starting a neighborhood watch, having people grab The Rock's Russian girlfriend's ass.
I had to grab her ass, honey. I was the rapist. I had to.
Yep.
It was role play. I had to do it.
Everyone just pick me.
The one guy, please pick me. Please pick me. No. Please pick me.
Yes. Oh
Ben
man.
Steppen is coded.
So who do you?
That's Arwen from The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, by the way.
That's who I thought. I was like, this dude is. I've seen this guy before.
Mm-hmm.
So who next do you try to rip off? Well, you got a plan, but you need help from none other than Michael Rispioli, coming back yet again. And you guys get into an argument. And what happens during that argument? Well, he calls you stupid. Because, you are.
Calls you an
It's like
amateur.
an amateur, yeah. And what do you do when somebody calls you an amateur? You knock them over. And then you accidentally knock a whole fucking barbell on their head. Leading you to then have to drug his wife and get rid of the body. All while Ed Harris is coming at you, figuring out your plans and your schemes. And Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson just starts going into a withdrawal phase right about this time, and everything just goes crazy. And, what
Captain
happens
America's getting
when-
that dick extension surgery too. He's
Yeah.
recovering down below.
Yep. Because, he has a very small penis.
Good
Cerebral
thing you don't need a
says.
penis to suck some pregnant titties.
That made me laugh out loud watching it this time. I swear to God.
This movie just has some unhinged, crazy lines. But yes, that's, to sum up the movie, spoiler alert, they get sentenced to death. As they should, for torturing somebody and then killing two people who are pretty vaguely innocent, not innocent, but not worthy of being murdered. And that's just Miami in 1994 for you. It's honestly one of my favorite Michael Bay movies, if not my favorite Michael Bay movie. I feel like his style of directing fits this crazy, wacky ass story so well. Everyone's unhinged. It feels like he's on coke the entire time too while making it, but not in the sense where he's like out of control. It's like very controlled, but just some of the funniest fucking lines ever. Never thought I would see one of my favorite Rock performances, not like number one, but like in the top probably 5 of his favorite performances ever, just because he is so fucking funny in this. When they pull up on him cooking the hand, and he's just like, "It was smoky as fuck in there. I had to move it outside." Oh my god!
But also flirting with the woman across the street while he's cooking the hand too.
Yep.
Pepe.
And
Pepe, it's Eldad. Are you okay, Pepe?
yep, yep.
I had gifts, Pepe, and one of those gifts is knocking someone the fuck out.
Yep. Like so many good lines. And Tony Shalhoub is wonderful. He is like one of my favorite people in this movie just because he gets to play such an asshole and he does it so well. When he gets his face run over, that fucked me up this time, hearing that like crack of his teeth and jaw and stuff. I was like, ugh. And the whole movie is just speaking with a lisp because he almost bit his tongue off. And yeah, I saw this in theaters when it came out, actually back in the day, and with my dad. And Concord Mills, by the way, which was where I saw most of my movies. And I just remember walking out of there being like, that is not what I expected out of this movie. I thought it was going to be like a crime drama with bodybuilders. Like, and it technically is a crime drama, but I thought more like, oh, we're robbing a bad guy, we're the good guys. And then I walked out, I was like, Jesus Christ, everyone was terrible in that movie except for Ed Harris. And yeah, 10 out of 10. It's a fun watch. I don't think I've met anybody, like Jackson included. I remember watching this with Jackson back during COVID, I do believe. And but I've never met anybody who's seen this movie and didn't like it, or if they hadn't seen it in a while, like they were like, "Oh yeah, I just watched that. It was actually really good." Because it is. I don't know what the reviews were when it came out. I think it was just kind of like meh. But I still think definitely an underrated Michael Bay movie, and it's one of those movies that I would throw on if I had like cable and I saw it on like TV or like TNT. I'd probably just keep it on the whole time, like if I saw it. It doesn't matter where I land in the movie. And some great shots too, like some fucking great shots. Very artsy compared to some of his other movies, but like the one where Mark Wahlberg's just floating and his like brain is fucking small, like his head is small and his mouth is huge. And I was like, that's actually really smart, because he's got a big mouth but small brain. And I was like, okay.
I didn't even think of that. That's a good point.
Yep. And I was like, okay, Michael Bay, I see you. And then like that one near the end when the camera's just fucking moving around and you just see The Rock, Anthony Mackie, and Mike Rispoli's like wife just tweaking out in the other room, and then him and Mike Rispoli just arguing in one. I was like, this is just good shit. Reminds me of, like, that scene from Bad Boys 2, except for like he did like the same
He
type of
loves that.
style.
He did it in Bad Boys 2 and Transformers. He loves that like spinning around the room shot.
Yep. I felt like this was more like the most dramatic version of that though, because it wasn't like people just fighting and shooting. It
Right.
was like, tense, very tense. Um, but yeah, so that's what I have to say about it. I'll let the floor open to you guys.
How fucking stupid can you be? What you gotta ask yourself before going in, and you're still gonna be wrong because these fucking dumbass fucks are so enjoyable to watch. But Jesus Christ, what they do, it just makes you facepalm, and especially The Rock, because like he is like the heart and soul of this movie, in my opinion, because of his just genuine like positive vibes. But maybe that's the good Lord speaking through him. I don't know. But when he is singing at the end in that prison choir, I'm just like, God, this is like tailor made for The Rock in every shape or form. I think this is easily, even though I haven't seen the Rock yet, pun intended, uh Michael Bay's best fucking movie. Like this fits his style so well. The editing is one of my favorite parts of this whole movie because it is chaotic, but it is also very like calm at points. And just the open water of Miami and the just blues and the pinks and everything that kind of like go in, fucking awesome. Starting a goddamn movie with Mark Wahlberg doing crunch ups on the wall and then running from the cops and getting hit by a car and then having a full circle moment back to the end is just great storytelling in my opinion. And you out of a lot of movies, and I think frankly out of all three of these movies, this one the most, you are like soaked into the world. Like I felt just as bad as some of these people because like I'd be making jokes, or like when they went into the hospital and they're all like dressed up as nurses and they're gonna go kill Tony Shalhoub, I was like gung ho about it. I was like, yeah, get this goddamn fuck that piece of shit. But it's also like they're doing horrible things, and it's just like Anthony Mackie just gets the short end of the stick fucking constantly in this fucking movie. And I think
He himself has a short end of a
yes,
stick.
he
You know what
does.
I'm
Yes, he
saying?
does. But also it's his fucking problem too. Like he, out of the three of them, I feel like was the one that could have stopped and said no the most and chose not to. Because The Rock was a fucking pussy. He was gonna say no matter what when it came to killing Tony Shalhoub. I felt like that whole thing with them crashing the car and the fact that he didn't actually die and nobody wanted to like hurt him except for Mark Wahlberg goes to show that Mark Wahlberg in this movie is fucking scum.
Well,
And
especially that scene where like when they run him over and they're like, "How does it feel to kill somebody?" And he's like, "We did it," and he's like, "No, you did it," and they're like both like, "Yeah, you did it."
That
And
scene
then
was
later,
fucked
The
up.
Rock like flips it on him, and I was like, "Oh, that's good shit."
it's just like almost Three Stooges level of slapstick comedy, but just like right on the nose of like being too far, but not far enough to where like their personalities and their characters are just screaming at you the whole time. Um, I love this movie. I could also watch it at any point, anytime, and it was so awesome to like just turn on my TV knowing that we were gonna watch it and it be on the fucking TV already. I was like, yes, this is how the world wants things to be, and it's how it should be. So
Yes. So I was very, very excited when Matt picked this a few weeks ago because, yes, I had very fond memories back during the thick of COVID of the three of us watching this together. And at the time, you see, I was on a very bad run of Michael Bay movies. I had seen several in a row. Both the first two Bad Boys movies and Armageddon, I think. I don't know if I'd seen that one yet. Just I couldn't take another one. I was like, I remember when you guys were like, let's watch Pain and Gain. I was like, guys, I can't take another shitty Michael Bay movie right now. I'm gonna die if I have to watch another one. And they were like, oh, you guys were like, oh no, 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 you can trust me, this will be better. And I was like, oh, okay, sure. And then it started, and as it kept going, I was like really, really into it. and I just was, by the time it was over, I was like, oh God, I actually fucking high key fuck with this movie. And that is very much still the case. Look, is this a perfect movie? No. Is it flawed? Yeah, sure, at parts. I don't give a fuck though. I wholeheartedly stand by this movie. I love it. It's a good time. I think it is easily. It's ironic because it is one of Michael Bay's, I feel like, least popular movies and one of his least successful, but it is easily one of his best. His best will always be Transformers for me. You can't convince me otherwise. But this is a close second. I think it's one of the few times he's genuinely trying to lock in and tell a real story instead of just fuck around, which is what most of his movies are. It's just fucking around and being childish. It's like, no, he actually was really trying to make something like, meaningful with this. And don't get me wrong, it's got all of the Michael Bay isms, the typical Michael Bay isms, all fucking over it. But still, it feels like he's just taking this one a bit more seriously. I think, watching it this time, the only major problems with it that I can really identify are it's a bit all over the place and the voiceover is way too excessive. But other than that, man, it's so much fun. It's so funny. I think the satirical edge is really, on point for the most part. The performances, I maintain, this is in my top two rock performances of all time. Like it's the Smashing Machine and then it's this. I love he is like one of the standouts of this movie. This was like back when he was willing to like it's funny because this is his third time on the show. He's in the Hall of Fame now. And I love how all three of the movies of his we've had on here were all like genuinely like risk-taking performances from him, whether it was this or Southland Tales or The Rundown. Like back when he was willing to do different things. And this to me is his most out there role, I think, that he's ever played. Just playing this crazy, coked up fucking idiot, who's just grilling hands and shit. I don't know. And then Mark Wahlberg, I also honestly think this is one of his best performances. He's so fucking just intense and
When he has the
believable, this guy.
the sun tanning goggles on and the blue light is just glowing on him, like,
Yeah.
God, I fucking love you as a character.
Anthony Mackie is phenomenal as well, as he is in everything that he's in. The three of them just work so well as a trio. And yeah, the whole thing I just love. This is a movie, like you said, Sam. I can just put this on whenever and just enjoy this and just have so much fun with it. I love just first of all, the story. I remember watching it the first time. I was very invested in the story, and Tony Shalhoub as well. I remember watching it the first time. He was my favorite in the movie. He was the standout acting wise. He is so goddamn good in this, as he is in everything. And it's fucked up because they make him so hateable at the beginning of the movie, and then you do kind of feel bad for him, like as he's getting tortured and everything. It's just like, he doesn't deserve this. Like he's a prick, but he doesn't deserve this. I don't know. It's a lot of fun. And I also think like, I won't say too much. I probably shouldn't say too much, but I will just say, uh, this movie hits completely differently when you've worked at a gym for a year and a half. There are people that I recognized in this movie that are in my gym. That's all I'm gonna say.
Rob Cadre or whatever his fucking name is spitting image of some assholes you fucking get at those places.
Mark Wahlberg's character in particular, I have seen people like that in my gym who talk like him and think like him.
Just don't let him know you got any money.
Yes, exactly. And then what was I gonna say? Oh, but it's funny too because watching it this time, I think one of the most interesting parts of the movie is the fact that Mark Wahlberg's whole philosophy is be a doer. And like he's given all these monologues about like people are lazy, people squander their gifts. I got no sympathy for that. And, I'm going to do things and I care about, working hard for blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, your whole thing is you're lazy. You want the shortcut to getting rich. You don't want to work for it. You want to steal it from somebody fucking else. So you're a hypocrite who's going against your whole philosophy that you said at the beginning of the movie, which is low key kind of what Michael Rispoli says to him, where he's just like, I don't want to say that you're fucking, lazy. You're not a worker or anything, but I mean, give me a break, man, And I'm just like, yeah, he's kind of calling him out in that scene. And I thought that was
The personality outweighs the actual product in terms of what he does completely. Because like,
which
even at the
again,
end of the movie, nobody says a bad thing about him. They're like, "Oh, they were so wonderful," even though he was pointing at all the kids and pointing at the fat ones. Is like, you, and you're running home. The rest of you can walk.
I swear to God, the line that made me laugh the hardest was fucking, yeah, you eyeballing me, boy? Your mom's been driving up and down the street looking at me. I'll be a stepdaddy by next week. That shit
Him with the
fucking
kids
floored
was one of
me.
my favorite parts. Like that whole
Shoving the
thing.
kid down while playing basketball, like, pick yourself up, you pussy.
And he's like, you guys want to go chase some tang with me? I can't remember what fucking he said to them. He was like, no, like sad eyeballing or something, like, like sad. I can't remember what the term was, but
Yeah.
he was like, and then pointing to the rocks like wife, and he's like, oh, you guys like that, huh?
Hmm.
I was
I
like,
gave
Jesus
him that.
Christ, huh?
Yeah.
I gave him that.
Yep. Yeah.
I just let it go, She was with me, and I just let him have it, basically. Yeah.
Oh my. Yeah.
It does such a great job of really especially with his character, like capturing the personality of guys like that. Because again, I know people, I have met people like that, these bodybuilder types who fucking, like you said, Sam, it's true of a lot of them. The personality outweighs the actual person. They're all outwardly confident and charismatic, but they're just nothing, and they're kind of pieces of shit a lot of the time. So, it's very, very accurate in
I
that
don't
sense.
blame him though for loving that boat because he looked badass as fuck driving around Miami with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I also
One of my
just
favorite.
love that I think of that scene all the time. Anytime I'm like out in public and I hear Christian Rock, I just think people say Christian Rock sucks. Who says that? Nobody. The fucking assholes do that too. Just so many funny scenes in this.
For me, it's when I'm in a hardware store. I'm thinking of them returning the chainsaw, and it has like the hair caught up in it and the blood dripping off.
Yeah. And then Michael Bay, I gotta question that man. I think he has some very sick fetishes that he's into because this is the second movie after Bad Boys 2 where he makes a joke about one of the main characters making jokes about a dead girl's titties. And I gotta question this now that I've seen it twice. I'm like,
Thanks
this
for
is
spoiling.
what you into, Michael Bay? What you into?
Well, either way, he likes titties that aren't real or alive. I mean,
Well, that we already know.
plenty of silicone, which is the biggest joke of all. Is that the reason they get caught is because there's a barcode on the fucking silicone breast implants of the woman they
He was right. They should have taken him.
Yeah.
He did have a point.
Yeah. One of my favorite parts too is when he's cooking the hand outside, the little like uh text that says this is still a true story.
Yeah.
Just to like remind people, it's like, hey, we're not making this up, by the way.
Even though that part apparently was not true.
Oh shit.
So he's just a liar, but it's fine.
Okay, I believed it.
Yeah, I believed it too.
I was like, I could see somebody doing that in Miami and like kind of, they didn't get away with it, but like getting away with it in the short term.
Yep.
And they did what all biopics should fucking do is show the real people during the credits because that really benefited. Like,
I will say, I feel like Mark Wahlberg actually looked like his character, like his real guy, a little bit. I didn't feel like The Rock or Anthony Mackie quite looked like him. Not that I cared. I was like, that's not the point. Is but
Right.
I was like, damn, they got close with Mark Wahlberg. I don't know about the rest,
But they were, again, the chemistry between the three of them was off the charts. I thought they all worked very well together. And that's the thing, man, is like this movie is so much fun and just so funny. I think it is very well directed at a lot of points. I give Michael Bay full credit. Like I said, I really think he locked in on this one. One of the most memorable scenes to me from the first time that hit really hard, that also did this time as well, is when they've got Tony Shalhoub in the warehouse and he reveals that he knows who Mark Wahlberg is. And just that line of just him going up to him being like, I don't just want everything you have. I want you not to have it, I'm just like that shit hit.
that greed goes a long way.
Mm-hmm. And
one of my favorite action moments, and probably the biggest action moment in the whole movie, is the part where The Rock steals from the bank truck, the money truck, and usually it never gets me, but when he opens that bag and the fucking blood pack pops on him, like that still made me jump, and then just the like action of going into that hair salon, through the back, out into the water, him getting his toe shot off, and then carrying that into the wedding, which is like horrible that none of them even questioned why he wasn't at the wedding.
I love it though, the satire of like the people in this neighborhood just do not give a shit. Like the three of them are so obviously shady. Like he's on cocaine at the neighborhood function, like clearly, and Mark Wahlberg is like such a douchebag, like insulting kids and like throwing them down and like offering them his adult wife and everything, and just
but they're
they're
all
all
doing the right
being
thing.
they're all being so fucking shady, and none of the neighbors give a shit. Yeah, like The Rock showing up, missing a toe, covered in blood, covered in green, whatever, soaking wet, and none of them care. You know,
Well,
and then,
they're
and
they're in
then
that
Brian
whole neighborhood
Stepanek next
too.
door just constantly being like, "Oh man, he seemed like such a nice guy. Who could have thought?" You know, I'm like, don't tell me the satire in this movie isn't on point. My
Well, it's
boy
because
Michael
They're
Bay,
probably
they
into some
actually
white collar
benefited these
crime.
people's lives. Like they made the community an actual community, and then like gave them the tools to succeed, like with the fanny packs.
I figure these people are probably into some white collar crime too, so they're not all clean themselves, which is why
yeah,
they're in the neighborhood.
right.
That was my assumption because I was thinking the same thing too, and I'm like, why aren't they? And I'm like, well, all these dudes were fucking weird too, like trying to get with the girls. So I'm like, I feel like they're all into some weird shit.
I
Yeah.
just remembered The Rock trying to feed that chihuahua his toe.
He did. He let it. I mean, he let him
Yeah,
have it.
yeah.
He just. Well,
Yep.
I was like, what the fuck?
And then I felt so bad for the racing dog too, and just how like sad it looked when it came back to the track.
Yeah.
But no, it's funny because The Rock gives the Chihuahua his toe, and then when they're leaving, Mark Wahlberg takes the Lamborghini, and he's like, "Taking a dead man's car is not a good idea." I'm like, dude, you just left your toe there. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
where's the moral? You know?
They're so stupid. That's one of my favorite
Yep.
parts is they're so stupid. Like them trying to kidnap Tony Shalhoub like multiple times and not doing it right. I'm just like, man, these guys are such fucking morons. And it's funny because again, that's the whole point is Mark Wahlberg has just seen too many movies and is too, it's almost like it's like American Animals, if either of you've seen that, where the whole thing is like, oh yeah, we've seen all these movies and we think that this is how this is going to be. And then the reality of it is like you don't actually know what the fuck you're doing, and you're just incompetent morons and you
another
bungle the whole
underrated.
thing. So what?
That's another underrated movie.
Yes, it is.
Shout out
I'm like,
Charlotte. Charlotte Skyler.
yes.
Charlotte
I
Skyler.
know someone who was in that movie.
Oh, that's what's up.
Well, a lady who directed me once in a play was an extra in that movie. She had like two lines, but
What's up?
yeah, so that was cool. But yeah, again, this and Michael Bay, he gives this movie the energy that it needs. I feel like you said, Matt, the coked out energy that kind of matches how the characters are feeling, and just, I don't know. It makes me happy whenever he actually locks in and like gives a shit for once, and like, isn't just fucking around and being silly. I'm just like, yeah, you know what? If he really tried, if he put his mind to it, I think he could make like a good movie. And this is one of those times where it also helps that Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely wrote the script. So,
Oh, that
That
makes
helps.
sense.
yeah, they're goated, obviously. Um,
Side tangent, but it makes me think about how I love watching the recent interview of TJ Miller talking about how him and Michael Bay weren't really friends, but due to their mutual hatred for Ryan Reynolds, they became really good friends. And they've just all the time, he's like, anytime I hang out with him, we just talk shit about Ryan, and I love it. And I'm just like, hell yeah.
that's hilarious.
That's fun.
But yeah, that makes sense. But Ryan Reynolds is one of the few actors who can match Michael Bay's level of just being an asshole on set, I feel like. But because that's
And
hard to do,
makes
but
me
he
want to
does
rewatch
it.
Ambulance, which I never thought I'd want to do, but there's some really good like drone shots in that make me think of the kinetic energy that's in this.
Yeah.
Still haven't seen that.
Um, but I mean, it's one of those movies where you put it on, it just goes by so fast. So I was happy that I was able to have a reason to pick this because I think I wanted to pick. I've mentioned picking this before, but I was like, oh, perfect. This is a good special for this movie. Uh,
It's
so
ironic because again, like I think for me and Sam, ours are like, not considered some of our director's most popular or best movies. And yours is like definitely one of his least popular, but I also feel like you ask most people, they'll tell you this is one of his best. It's
mhm.
just that not that many people talk about it, unfortunately. So it's like, I do. like that, because and I was very excited when you picked it because I was dying to watch this again because I just had so much fun with it the first time I saw it. And I've been defending this movie ever since. I've been like, this one is so fucking good. It's so underrated. And, you can't tell me this isn't, like, again, not a perfect movie, but, pretty damn good,
A
you
fucking
know.
banger.
So,
It's a fucking banger, no matter
hell
what.
yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Also, one of the best movie taglines ever. Just sums it up. Their American dream is bigger than yours. I'm just like, that's perfect. Um, but yeah, and Rebel Wilson, yeah, also not being fucking insufferable in this was pretty cool. She actually made me laugh towards the end when she was in the courtroom. She was like, I actually happen to know for a fact that he tried to finger bang his paralegal or whatever she says. I'm just like, all right, that actually made me laugh.
She's like, yeah, I'm
Directors,
talking about you, bitch.
Yeah.
I feel like this and Jojo Rabbit are the only two roles with her that I'm like,
Oh yeah.
I don't see her as Rebel Wilson being annoying. She is this character, and she is perfect as these characters.
She was good in that too.
Yeah, I've seen a few movies where she's not bad. It's just like you can tell when I think, they're clearly like, all right, ham it up. Go,
Yeah,
Improv.
improv it, go crazy. And it's like,
Apparently she brought the nunchucks in that scene. Those were her own nunchucks.
hell yeah.
She brought them herself, so I was like, all
Actually,
right.
yep, that's funny. But yeah, well, we've got 4 minutes left. I think
that's the connecting tissue from last week.
the
Anne
nun.
Hathaway was the Pog for Matt Damon, and Rebel Wilson's the Pog for Anthony Mackie.
There
There
you
we
go.
go.
Now we got to find one next week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Pog life.
Pog life.
Amen, baby.
Sorry, my cat knocked the candle off the wall.
Okay.
Oh no. Your house is gonna burn down.
If it was Stuart, it would have burned down because the candle would have been lit.
Yeah, my K cup exploded, so that wasn't fun. That's why it took so long for me to get back.
Your K cup.
Those breast implants, man. You can't get them in the sun.
The Keurig little coffee
Yes.
cups
I know.
was annoying.
The same size as the
My
sperm
last one
donation cup.
too. Huh?
It's
How
the-
did it? Why did it explode?
I guess I put it in weird and it broke too much, so then it was just spitting out coffee grounds into the cup, basically. And then when I pulled it out, it was like coffee grounds all in the top thing was just literally caked in there. And I was like,
Damn.
great, now I gotta wipe this out real quick before I lose
Forget
track
about
of time and totally don't do it. So
That sucks.
yeah, it was my last K cup too. That's why I'm more like shit because all I got is zero sugar Coca-Cola and water now.
Damn.
You can strain out that coffee.
I have no.
You got the wrong kind of Coke, Matt.
I know. I need what the Rock was doing.
Mm-hmm. Can you
I like-
smell what the Rock? God damn it! I can't believe we didn't make that fucking joke. Can you smell what the Rock is cooking?
It's
Man.
Russian poo-tang.
Fuck. Cooking them hands, boy.
But yeah. So moving on from Pain and Gain into our last pick of this episode, Mr. Workman's pick. One of my favorite Steven Spielberg movies because I've seen it so many damn times on TV. None other than The Terminal.
I wish I owned this on DVD.
Not the terminal illness that Tom Hanks gets in Philadelphia, but
Shout out Gatorade.
yes, shout out.
I feel like that's gonna have to be one of our season 4 finale picks now, or at least happen at some point this season. God forbid we have an AIDS special, Live Aid, we'll call it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, then I could pick Us. I've been wanting to rewatch that movie.
Oh yeah, I guess that would work. That would work. Hands
just
across
pick-
America, bitches.
I'll just pick the actual Live Aid special.
Bohemian Rhapsody. But if either of you pick that, I will kill you.
I will hope to never see that again in my life.
I've
I
never
will
seen
kill-
it. Never plan on seeing it.
Yeah, I've never seen it. I will at some point, but not anytime soon. And it will only be out of
Dak
morbid
Shepard,
curiosity.
who directed that? Not Dak Shepard. Fuck.
Hmm?
Trying to think of the dude who directed that. It's not
Brian
Dak
Singer.
Shepard.
Brian Singer / Dexter Fletcher.
Dexter Fletcher. I was watching something on Pluto. I was flipping through it, and for 2 seconds, he walked up, complained to a dude, and the dude just shot him in the chest with a gun. And I was like, all right, that's for Bohemian Rhapsody, you fuck.
Did you know Dexter Fletcher is the little kid in Elephant Man?
No, that's
Yeah.
wild.
Yep. Random as hell. But, ladies and gentlemen, if you can, picture this. The year is 2004. You are a tourist. From where? The great nation of Krakozia.
Krakozia.
Krakozia. You gotta say it right.
I don't want to cut you off, but I'm going to just because I have to get this joke out. I never realized the entire time that I've seen this movie that how close that is to crack hole. Anyways,
Okay.
I was like, how did they come up with this? Oh, crack hole.
Oh man, yep, that was the inspiration.
Yep, it had to.
But yeah, so you're from Krakozia, an Eastern European country, and you've come to where else but New York City, and you're on a mission. What is that mission? Well, we'll find out later. But all you know right now is that you ain't going to New York City. You're not going to any part of America anytime soon. You know why? Because while you were in the air, after you landed, your entire country of Krakozia was overthrown in a violent military coup. The whole government was thrown out. There's chaos in the streets. People are dying, goddammit. And it's just utter chaos. And so, because of this, you don't have a country. So, your passport is invalid, and you can't come into America without a country, without a valid passport. You are a citizen of nowhere. And so now you got to live in the airport. And that's just where you're going to have to stay until this gets sorted out. But that could be forever from now. So you're just going to have to make the most of it. And while you're there, oh, all kinds of crazy things happen. You do your best to survive. You lose all of your meal vouchers right away. And things are just a little intense, just a little crazy. You have a flight attendant played by returning Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Hey,
She
we got
returns.
both her and Antonio in this episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, both Zorro people. And yeah, as I called them in that episode, the two most fuckable people on the planet. I stand by that. And obviously, Tom Hanks, or Victor Navorsky is his actual name. Mr. Navorsky, he agrees. And he's going to try to Zeta on her Jones until he gets some entrapment, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, he's screaming, Catherine!
But yeah, she's a flight attendant on one of the airlines, and she's passing through all the time. And she and Mr. Navorsky, well, they strike up a bit of a romance. And she's got all kinds of problems. She is having an affair with a married man. But the problem with that is 3 people crowded. Boy, ain't that the fucking truth. But
No cheating. No cheating.
he chit.
He shit.
He chit.
He shit.
He chit.
You're not shit.
No chit. No chit.
No shit.
But yeah, so that's where things get a little complicated. And also, at the same time, Mr. Navorsky, he's trying to get a job. He's trying to survive, but that's a lot harder than it should be because there is a man who is trying to stop him at every turn, a Homeland Security agent who is as bald as he is evil. This, I've said it before on this podcast, and I've said it before in life, and it is always true, and it shall always be true. If you're near Stanley Tucci, it's anything but Gucci. I stand by that always. Stanley goddamn Tucci is the heartless national security, or Homeland Security official who wants to get rid of Victor at all costs. He wants to just get him out of his airport, just fucking throw him away and forget about him. He hates this man for no fucking reason other than he's an asshole and he's going to do whatever it takes to throw him out. And yeah, that's basically the gist of it. Victor is, he's trying to just get by as much as he can in the airport. He becomes an important character in the lives of all the people in the airport. And he's just trying to make do with this bald fuck trying to throw him out, and with this hot lady, that he likes. He's trying to. Can't we all relate to all those things? Isn't that just a relatable tale? And meanwhile, you got all kinds of other fucking people in this movie. You got one of the most underrated actors on the planet, Mr. Barry Shabaka Henley, as fucking Stanley Tucci's right-hand man, who is trying to help throw him out of the airport up until the end. You got Diego Luna, young ass Diego Luna, and Mr. Chi McBride, and another underrated actor, Mr. Kumar Palana, from a
Woo!
lot of Wes Anderson movies, having a very big part in this. They become Victor's friends who try to help him out in the airport and become his inner circle. And you've got fucking pre-fame. Thank you, Steven Spielberg, for discovering this fine lady, Miss Zoe Saldana, in one of her earliest major roles as one of the airport
Second time on?
workers.
This is just her second, right?
What was the first one?
Amelia Perez.
Oh shit, you're right. Wow. Okay, yeah, this is her second time on. Well, I just try to block that movie out of my fucking memory as much as I can. But yes, her second time on the cast, much better movie this time, much better role. Even though that was the one she won the Oscar for, which was fucking bullshit if you ask me. But yeah, so she's here as well, and all kinds of fucking people. It's just I love this movie. I completely, unapologetically love this movie with every fiber of my fucking being. I am completely unashamed to say that this is one of my top five favorite Steven Spielberg movies. I don't give a shit what anyone has to say about it. It is wonderful. It is heartwarming. It is beautiful. I love it. It's hilarious. It is one of the best John Williams scores, certainly one of my favorites. I love it. I've seen it three times. First time, it's funny because this and Pain and Gain were both COVID movies. I saw these around the same time. That was the first time. And I'll never forget watching it and being like, because it has the reputation of not being one of Steven Spielberg's most popular movies. And I was like, okay, let's see, this will be fine, maybe. And by the time it was over, I was like, what the fuck? That was incredible. I love that. Holy shit. And then the second time I saw it was over at Sam's house. I can't remember if you were there, Matt. Were you there when we all watched this together?
I think so.
I don't remember.
I can't remember, but I
I
remember.
remember drinking when he's doing the juggling thing with the discs.
Yep, yep. I just remember the scene. I remember it was me, Sam, and Stuart. We're all sitting there, and I remember the scene where he's on the job interview, and she's like, "So where do you live?" Gate 67, and she's like, "Did you just say Gate 67?" The three of us just lost our shit laughing. That's just a fun memory I've got of it, and just the whole thing was so. I don't know. That was also a fun time watching it. So this was time number three, and I loved it every bit as much this time as I did the first two times. This is a goated movie, and yeah, I see you, Mr. Spielberg, and I appreciate you. And I'm before I reveal what Napoleon gave to Josephine for a wedding present, I'm gonna go ahead and let the two of you take it away.
He gave her a Burger King Whopper because I couldn't go into this episode without getting me some good old BK, the staple of 2004 for most Americans. I have one gripe with this movie, and I'm sorry, but if this happened, why is he the only person stuck in the terminal? Wasn't there a whole fucking plane full of people? But
Not from his country.
So it goes to show that they hide amongst us. They can sneak around. Holy fuck, this movie is so heartwarming, personal, just touching on all. It is literally the bow being tied. Whole ensemble cast through and through. As good as fucking Tom Hanks is, he would not be as good if it weren't for the people he was acting against and playing off of the energy and just the way that they all kind of gel. As Sleepless in Seattle taught us, the best romances are the ones that are fleeting chance meetings. And so that is why it's even more fitting that all they do in any time, the way that Catherine Zeta-Jones character comes in and leaves is just so like fitting because it's an airport experience and you just have this kind of full fleshed out. Everyone has this working maneuvering parts and then just the lies that they tell, but also not lies, the just admission of truth because he's like, I'll be here. You don't need to worry. I'll just be here. But he never tells her until it's too late and too important. But him, he is just one of the nicest fucking people to ever exist. And to quote one of the Avengers movies, somebody get that goat its pills because it needed them. And that is one of the most touching, soul crushing moments at the same time as watching that man beg Stanley Tucci to just save his father. And Stanley Tucci does not give a rat's goddamn ass because all he cares about is polishing his shiny fucking head and getting that raise. But at the end of the day, there's still work to be done, which is why I love when he gets out and Stanley's all pissed off. It's like, well, we did what we did. Now let's get back to work because we have 1,500 people coming in the next few hours. Let's succeed in life. There's no one who's like, they're villains, but there's no one who's truly despicable in this movie because everyone just has their place, everyone has their lives, and they're all living it. So, shout out to I forgot the actor's name, even though you already said it, running with the mop against that airplane because I was ready at the moment when he was running up and right in front of it to just stop the movie right there and be like, and he died. And then he just gets flattened by the airplane. And that's it.
That was one of the bloopers.
Yeah.
I didn't stop.
Oh, shout out. I left I was enjoying my night when I saw this and I just had the TV the title screen menu playing with the music and it was flipping all the like flight times and everything and it was just like culture. DVD menus that actually change.
I would also like to point out real quick that this is one of two movies in this episode where the character has to learn the language of the other people.
Yes, it is.
I think it was a lot more earned in this movie, I'll just say.
For
He doesn't just listen to one conversation and learn it immediately.
Hey, but that goes to show how fucking smart Antonio Banderas was.
True.
Yeah.
How cultured he was.
He was a man of culture, that is true.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen this movie about 8 million times on TV. It made me get Burger King almost every time I went to the airport. I would always be like, "Can we go to Burger King?"
Oh, yeah.
And it's funny because I was in Charlotte International recently, and I walked past the Burger King. It was still there, and I thought, like, should I go get some Burger King just for this movie? I didn't, because it was going to be way overpriced for some shit that I was not going to like. But I thought it was funny that I considered it. And I also used to eat the mustard cracker ketchup. I would actually add mayo to mine. And I actually used to do that as a kid.
Matt, you were there when Jackson watched it with us because we all ate cracker mustard ketchup sandwiches.
I remember Sam eating some, but I guess yeah.
I must have came in like halfway through the movie then.
Probably.
But yeah, I thought about making some for this show, but I totally forgot until just now. But I mean, it's heartwarming. I love the set design. That's what I really noticed this time around I love the borders that are like, it's like 3 stories of just plain glass, and you know they built that shit. Like, it's not CGI. The whole terminal itself, I think, was probably like made just for this movie. If I had to guess,
It was, but that's the thing is like if you told me they filmed this in a real airport, like I would believe you because it looks very authentic.
Shout out
all
Borders
the
Bookstore.
extras in every scene, huh?
Shout out Borders Bookstore. You saying that word reminded me that that's in this movie and they don't exist anymore, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. The OG Starbucks coffee, like all of that looked really cool. I really enjoy this movie. It seems like it's kind of like Pain and Gain, but this one's in the sense that it's a hangout movie. Like, I feel like I'm hanging out with the characters, but this one's more of a wholesome, like, I love like just watching him figure everything out. Tom Hanks, goated actor. We don't say this enough. I'm sure people gave him shit about his accent in this movie, but I believe him. I believe every second he's on screen. I believe he's this character. And I loved it. I love him and Catherine Zeta-Jones' like little thing. I love him and Diego Luna's relationship, especially going back and forth with Zoe Saldana being like, "You're amazing. What, do you prefer men with money or love?" Like that kind of stuff. And her getting annoyed with him at first and then starting to like him. And then by the end, when everyone like comes out of the stores to like hand him stuff when they see he's leaving, they're like, "Victor's leaving." I thought that was great. I honestly, it's crazy because like my memory of this movie sucks apparently, because the ending of the movie to me was when he left the airport and Stanley Tucci like walks back in and it's just that wide shot of the taxi leaving. I could have sworn that was the ending. So when he actually goes and visits the jazz player to get a signature, I was like, oh shit. I was like, am I watching a director's cut version of this or something? But nope. And I was like, damn, I really just blanked that whole ending out of my brain. But I thought it was amazing. I was like, okay, there is closure to everything. And yeah, I mean, everyone's amazing in this movie. I just so much fun. And him just building that big ass fountain for her is like the most romantic thing ever.
Mhm.
I also love so much the scene where he takes her to dinner and his friends are just like the wait staff and everything. It was so I'm sorry, man. Like if you don't fuck with this movie, I don't trust you like as a person, you know? Like this shit is just so heartwarming. Like there's something genuinely like you're dead inside a little bit. If you this doesn't hit you on some level. I mean, it's
I don't think I've met anybody who doesn't like it, who's seen it. And if they just haven't seen it usually this
it's
point.
just
They're
like
like, what?
the
And
reputation it's always had is like it's one of his lesser known, like least popular, like everyone's like, that's the critical reception was very much just like, it's fine, I guess, And I'm just like, ah, fuck you. This is, I love it. I love it. And yeah, Tom Hanks, I gotta give full props. One of the most recognizable actors ever. And I don't know how he does it, but every role he has ever played, doesn't matter how recognizable he is able to completely transform into that person. And this is no exception. Where like you'd think, okay, is he just going to be doing a goofy accent? And is it just going to be Tom Hanks doing a goofy accent? From the beginning, 1000%, I did not see Tom Hanks. I just saw Victor Navorsky. I saw him as this person. The whole movie, I wasn't thinking about how it was him. I'm just like, no, I just 1000% believe you as this character. I don't know how he does it, but he's just so goated. It's
The part that
unbelievable.
sold me for it was when he sees on the TV that Krakosia is under like siege, and he is freaking the fuck out, running around, just scared and unsure of what to do, can't speak to anyone. It's like this is that character. Like that's when I fully like locked into him as this person because
Hmm.
he lives and breathes these situations that this person's going through.
Yeah. And, he's able to be sincere and be funny at the same time. And I don't know, so many of the jokes, because I don't know about you guys, Sam, you eating that Whopper, it makes me
Oh,
want to
yeah.
have it makes me want to have an eat the bite.
Yeah.
Bite the wheat. Bite the wheat, bite the wheat, bite the wheat, bite the wheat, bite the
Goes
wheat,
to
bite the wheat, bite the
show
wheat.
that this movie is fucking perfect Burger King marketing because I last week due to my own issues got Whoppers and then today I had to
three
get some. So I visited
Whoppers.
yeah. I have supported the Burger King machine twice in the last week.
That is
Thanks.
still hilarious, like just the image to me of you just sitting in your room by yourself, just eating three Whoppers in a row.
It would have been a good bit had we've been talking about this movie last week.
You did come prepared, just
Mhm.
not on the right day. But yeah,
Should have just saved the Whoppers and had week old Whoppers.
honestly, that would have been funnier. You just open it up and a bunch of flies just start buzzing around it and shit.
It's like the nasty patty from SpongeBob.
Um, but yeah, and just the love story between him and Catherine Zeta-Jones, not only was it great, it was mature. Because, the fact that they don't get together by the end, like to me, that anyone who wants to accuse this movie of being way too sentimental, I'm just like, they didn't get together in the end. And a lot of movies would have done that. A lot of movies would have been like, oh, the audience isn't going to like it if they don't get together. I like that that's how they did it. And see, Victor, he didn't understand, man. He ain't fucked around with those American women before. If an American woman comes up to you and says, I'm sorry, I just, I don't know what's wrong with me. I have all these problems and shit. Stay the fuck away from her. That's just, he had to learn that lesson as we all do at
Mhm.
some point or another. But
The real through line for this episode is that all three of these are based on true stories to a degree. Because
to a degree.
Beowulf was a fable that had real roots.
Well, and Antonio Banderas' character was a real person in history.
And Victor Navorsky, not the same name, was also a real person that this happened to. So
Hmm.
I was
All three were
thinking,
kind of loosely based on their true stories. So
I,
there's a through line.
I was on a muscle relaxer watching this movie, and I could have sworn there was one part where I heard Victor Dvorsky, And I was like, wow, he really does put his parents' divorce in every movie. And I was like, oh, Navorsky. Maybe they said that intentionally wrong, like, one of the TSA agents, but
That's how he came up with it.
yep. And also, you probably mentioned his name already, but who is the TSA or the Homeland Security guy under Stanley Tucci who
Barry
eventually lets.
Shabaka Henley.
Yep. Yeah, he was so great in this.
One of the most underrated actors ever. And
Yeah.
one of my favorite scenes is the scene at the end where he's trying to block him from going outside and he gives him his coat. I mean, that
Yep.
shit just
Mhm.
beautiful.
Yep. Icing on the cake right there.
Hmm.
Goes to show
And,
how one person can really change the lives of everyone around him.
Genuinely, because like they all were kind of apprehensive about him at first, and then they all grew to love him as time went on.
And Sam, I think you mentioned it, but there are no real Stanley Tucci technically is the villain of the movie, but really he's just doing his job. Granted, there's
Fuck him.
several points where he's being terrible. But to be fair, I was like, the whole movie I used to hate him, and I still didn't like him, but I wasn't like this dude's just intentionally. I mean, he is not being great, but I was like, I can see where he's coming from at least this time. And so I was like, well, I can at least see his side of it, and it's not just completely one-sided for me.
There's no reason for him to be as big of a dick as he is. And there's no reason for him to not just let him stay in the terminal. He's not bothering anybody. And like, because that's something that I really noticed this time is just how kind of prejudiced he is, like against immigrants in general. I just really picked up on that this time. Like when he gets him against the photocopier and he's just like, that's why you come from your fucking, shit wiping third world country and we have 2-ply toilet paper that we wipe our asses with or something. And
And
I'm just
holding his
like,
neck and like pushing him down.
yeah, I'm like this he's really that's why he's being such a dick is he's just super prejudiced,
After that whole scene and Victor was walking down with all the people with the handprints, I was
Mhm.
doing the Al Pacino and Irishman just being like, solidarity.
Yep. And then
Okay.
just like I don't know, the extra detail too of him wanting that top job forever and then finally getting it and feeling just trapped and bored by it and everything and just unfulfilled. That was another interesting part to the story. And then just, yeah, so many, yeah, the scene where he's having to talk down the guy with the pills was like way more intense than I remembered. I was just like, God damn, this scene is actually really fucking, it hits.
I
You can
want
feel the desperation of that guy.
to bring this up before I forget, but also in this movie Dan Finnerty, I don't know if you brought him up, Jackson. He's the Discovery store guy who brings him I can't remember what he brings him, like a squishy toy at the end. That's the dude who's the wedding singer in Old School and The Hangover.
No
I don't
shit.
know. Yeah, I was like at the very end when he just starts cursing up a storm while he's doing the wedding songs.
Hmm.
I was like, is that fucking that dude? Because I just saw him in a thing recently where they were talking about how he's the wedding singer in a lot of Todd Phillips movies as a joke, and
Wow.
I was like, holy shit! I can't believe Spielberg cast this guy. It
Yeah.
was probably right after Old School.
The
Yeah.
casting in this is on point. I just gotta say, there are a lot of because like I remember watching this at the time, being so shocked that Kumar Palana had such a big part because I just knew him as the dude from Royal Tenenbaums and like other Wes Anderson stuff.
Powerful fucking line when he looks at Victor in the face and is like, you're a coward.
Hmm.
Like, oh, god damn, I felt that.
I think when he said that too, he kind of realized that he was being a coward by not going home.
I
When,
said the same thing this time. I was like, he's kind of the same though, because he's hiding himself. And I think that's why it's such a great moment when he runs out to the plane, because then he's like, if I can do this, you can stand up to them. Because that's the
Exactly.
point. It's about we got to stand up to them, to Stanley Tucci, because you can't let him do this to you, basically. Like
It's
take
the
away
Aaron
your
Paul meme. He can't keep getting away with this.
literally. And yeah, just I don't know. I also just loved the friendship with the other airport workers, like them playing cards and shit. That was always
And the
one of my
dirty
favorite parts of
tactic
the
of
movie.
Tucci being like digging into his friends, being like, I know why they shouldn't even be
See,
working.
that's what I'm talking about. That's one of the biggest examples of he's not just doing his job. Like he's a malicious fuck, Like there's no reason to do that. And, he's just such a
But I'm
piece of
glad that the higher up boss that was watching him straight up told him, like, don't put yourself down because like it's not over, but also fucking get your shit together and stop being a goddamn piece of shit.
That's another scene too, where like, because you think after that moment, he's like, "Now you could learn something from Victor. It's not just about following the rules. It's about setting an example and all this shit." And you think like, "Oh, maybe he's about to get through to Stanley Tucci." And then that next scene happens where he calls him into his office, and you see like, "As long as I'm here, you're here. You will not set one foot in the United States." And I'm like, "Oh no, he's not even going to listen to his boss. He's just a dick. Like literally, he's just an asshole. That's all it is." I love it though at the end when he gets away. Just that he finally just says, "Fuck it, it's not worth it anymore." You know, he's finally just like, "You know what? I'll give it to him. He bested me. Like he's gone. He's not my problem anymore. You know, whatever. Let's do our jobs."
Well,
And then just
when he
oh, go
first
ahead.
was gonna let him out, I thought he was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna let him out, and eventually somebody will figure out that he's like, not like legal, I guess, or whatever, or acceptable."
No, the plan was to arrest
But
him the
then,
minute
yeah,
he
then I
walked out
realized
the
the plan
door.
was to arrest him, and I was like, "Damn, dude, like just let him go, and somebody will eventually figure it out, probably. If not, just let it be somebody else's problem." I was
The
kind of like,
immigration
"Okay,
people.
same, just fuck it."
Also, this movie predicted the future. J.J. Abrams was watching this movie, trying to figure out who he was going to cast as Uhura in his Star Trek movie. And he saw her do the goddamn Vulcan salute
That's
and be a Trekkie, and he's like, I know exactly who I'm casting.
at a hard tangent, but I love the ending when he gets in the taxi because it makes me think of the meme. I can't remember what movie it's from, where a character goes in the taxi and the dude's like, "Where you going?" And they say home, and then it cuts. The one meme I'm thinking of is the taxi driver turns back and is like, "Bitch, I don't know where you live."
Yeah, it's Dakota Johnson. Dakota Johnson, and I can't remember that fucking movie's
I
name.
don't remember what it is, but I was
I,
thinking of that with Tom Hanks saying the same thing, and then it pans out of the car. It's like he never told him where his home is.
Random cameo from Scott Adsit as the cab driver.
Mhm.
But yeah, and just I don't know, very well directed. Like I said, one of my favorite John Williams scores. Like the main kind of theme in this is just so every time it came on, I kind of like low key started like bopping to it a little bit. I was like,
So simple but so complex.
mm-hmm.
Just all these working parts in it that just bubbly.
Also, a great scene where this is kind of the one time Stanley Tucci actually was trying to help him, where he's just like, "All right, Victor, we can get you asylum, but you have to say that you're afraid of Krakosia." And he's just like, "No, Krakosia is home. I am not scared of home." Like that part hit hard for me too. I was just like, it doesn't matter.
And the tactic of being like, "Oh, I've prevented him from being able to eat for days, so let me like guilt him with a nice meal," but he secretly has been eating, so he didn't even want the food, and he's just Tucci's so confused why he doesn't want the
I
food.
wanted that sandwich so bad. I was like,
It
can I
looked
reach
good.
through the screen and be like, "Can I have this, please? Thank you." Oh, the olives in it and everything. I was like, "Damn, that's a good sandwich."
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah,
but
there were definitely times, the more I think about it, or maybe it's just because I'm hungry right now, but I could go for a Whopper right now.
Hey,
But
goddamn
I was
man.
thinking about getting one on the way to work, but I don't want people would clown me if I walked in with Burger King. Like,
that's the
what the
thing.
fuck is that?
I've never really been to Burger King. I've never had like a Whopper. I went to Burger King a few times as a kid just to get the Revenge of the Sith toys that they had. That was it.
It's
But
always disappointing going to Burger King. The only thing I kind of like from there is their long chicken sandwich.
mm,
Yeah.
But that's the only thing I kind of like from there. Like the Whoppers always disappoint me. The fries are not bad though, and the chicken nuggets. If you get, remember, do you guys remember in like back in 2016 when they had like 20 chicken nuggets for like $10 or some shit like that?
hmm.
That was nuts. I mean, we go for those, but that's also like just quantity over quality at that point.
For
I
sure.
remember they had the apple fries.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
The
yeah.
chicken fries are where
When I was a kid, they had like apple fries or some shit like that. That were not all bad, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Burger King died in 2008, and what is
mm,
left is just a shell of its old former self.
they peaked when Optimus Prime was in their commercial.
Exactly.
Well,
I heard
there was
someone.
a commercial recently where they brought it up. They were like, "Burger King went downhill, but we're bringing it back, baby." Like literally, that was the commercial.
Wow.
Hey, if they can admit it, then I'm here for it.
Yeah, I
Honestly,
was
yeah,
like,
that takes balls.
yeah.
Now, if only KFC would do it.
Bring back the chicken popcorn and
But
the wedge fries, you fucks.
Sam, you know what you should have done? You should have had the Burger King crown on and done the meme from the guy in the airplane.
It's just pulled down to my
No, but he would have just been yelling nurses the whole time.
damn it. It's gonna take at least 30 episodes for it to stop being brought up.
It's me that keeps bringing
But
it
the
up
issue is
too.
it resets every time it's brought up. So now I still have 30 episodes to go before it's forgotten.
Yep.
I'm sorry to be the one that keeps bringing it up, but I just keep thinking of good jokes, ways to work it into the conversation.
It's okay. I did it to myself.
But
And America did it to Ron Kovic, okay?
that's right. But yeah, I wholeheartedly adore this movie. This is, I think, again, like I said, one of my all-time favorite Steven Spielberg movies, and just favorite movies in general. I just love it to death. It's just everybody in it is firing on all cylinders. Tom Hanks, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Stanley Tucci, all just killing it. Everybody else, there are no small parts in this movie. Everybody does a great job. And like I said, I really like the maturity of the ending where they don't get together. And it's just like they met, they were an important part of each other's lives. And, she just goes back with that fucking guy. And that's the most
I
realistic
love that
ending.
you could have it could have been Diego Luna and Zoe Saldana's story where this foreigner just came in and influenced their lives because their relationship is a whole story on its own, leading to the great moment where they're riding on the like floor wax Zamboni with the just married thing. Is like I love that part.
Yeah.
Just how happy they are.
I love when they're singing the Caucasian national anthem. They're all just in the bar, just like, singing together and shit. I was just like, hey, let's go.
I feel bad because she walked up so happy, like smiling and stuff like that, and then just breaks his fucking heart.
Yeah. Apparently they did film an ending where she gets in the cab with him and goes, but they didn't use it. And I'm very glad.
I'm
Because
glad.
that just shows you Spielberg is one of the few directors I feel like who could have put his foot down and said like, nope, we're keeping this ending. Because
Well, I feel like
the studio was pressuring him to probably use the other one. But
the whole point of the movie is finding joy through certain struggles. Like the story with his dad dying and never getting to the last signature is just heartbreaking. But
which
he
I
found a
didn't.
way to find joy out of it.
I left out of my picture this. Yes, that's what he's ultimately there for, is to get all the jazz signatures, or the last one rather. And that's the thing too, is like I don't that's just so original. Like like so many other movies would have used, I think, a way more contrived, like obvious, like what is he there for kind of thing. That was just so specific and original to me that I appreciated it so much. Like it really mattered to him to get that last signature. And then, at the end there, watching him finally get it from the dude was pretty cool. I would also like to point out, this is kind of a hard tangent, but like I think it's cool. This came out the same year as Collateral, that Barry Shabaka Henley was also in. And he famously was in the jazz club scene where he knows all about Miles Davis. And I'm just like, interesting connection there. That there's two scenes involving jazz.
I'm gonna have to pick Clint Eastwood's Bird because we've had Lost Highway with our saxophone. We've now had this saxophone, and we need another saxophone.
The saxophone trio, the saxophone trilogy will be complete after that. And then what's that fucking movie with Jamie Foxx? The Soloist, is that what it's called?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Is he a saxophone player in that, or a trumpet player?
He plays cello. Yeah.
Oh, I know he plays some kind of instrument.
That's actually a really sad movie now that I think about it.
It is.
I've heard that's kind of
You
just
can
an
also
Oscar.
pick Soul with Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
Ah, yes. But
Just
Yeah, I was
Ray,
gonna say
the Jamie Foxx music trilogy.
well, we've already had Dreamgirls, so it'd be the quartet.
Very true. Very true. But yeah, and I'm sorry, like I said, this is one of those movies, if you don't like this movie, I just don't trust you, I'm just like this thing slaps. And I think among a lot of people, it has gone through a little bit of a reappraisal. Because you look at, not that this means anything usually, but I'm just saying 7.4 IMDb rating, that's all I'm saying. I bet you on Letterboxd it's probably pretty high too. I only bring that up to say that the streets, they have this movie's back.
They know.
Streets
They
no
know.
ball.
Mm-hmm. So I just, that makes me happy because it lets me know that other people do appreciate this movie quite a bit.
Sorry, Matt, on your note, Anthony Mackie sure loves Snowball in his movie too.
Yep.
Indeed.
Well,
But
I mean, I think we've had a really good run this episode with some underrated gems uh that people just don't talk about, and they need to be talked about more.
I'm glad I got it out because I'm
Word
about
out
to
in the
be back on
streets.
my bullshit next week, and it's
God
hard.
damn you.
Oh
I
boy.
will say the week after this week will be my first curveball finally. I guess
Mm.
technically my second because Troy wasn't meant to be one, but ended up being one. So, and neither of you are going to see it coming, what I'm picking.
You mean this next episode or the episode after next?
Was
I
a good
believe it's the
Iron
one
Man
after.
3.
The one after next, I believe.
Because the one after next is going to be my biggest stinker of this whole entire fucking podcast, and I cannot wait.
Oh boy. Well, we'll just see. We'll just see what happens.
You'll
But
smell it from Colorado or North Carolina all the way to Colorado, Matt.
oh
Or more
God.
importantly, you'll smell it from the streets of New York all the way to Colorado.
Oh Lord.
Well, I'm looking forward to it, and I hope everyone else is too. And this concludes our underrated gems special for this week on 3 for
I'm
3.
3 for 3.
Yeah, I'm 3 for 3. Jackson,
I'm
what say you?
You could
two
say
and a half for
Yeah.
three.
That's fair.
Almost 3
Like,
for 3.
yeah, I'd say 2.5 for three.
Okay. And let us know what underrated gem was your favorite. Like, comment, subscribe, vote in the polls, vote for Pain and Gain because
Vote for the terminal.
I feel like the terminal probably is going to get majority of the
If you
votes.
love America, if you hate immigrants, you won't vote for the terminal.
Mm.
That's my
Yeah.
move.
Well, Jackson, fortunately for you, I'm posting this in the Republican subreddit. So
Damn. I won't get a single vote.
Now I won't get a vote because they don't trust any Arabic man to ever exist.
And that
Damn.
includes mine.
And they're just gonna watch Pain and Gain and think that those are the good guys. God damn it. You clever bastard.
Uh, um, but yes, thank you again, and join us next week for another trio of movies in which we are unsure if we'll be 3 for 3, but come and find out.
Point.
Thank you for watching, and have a good week. We're 3 for 3.
Let's just say the next time you see me, I'm gonna be kicking back. And let's just say life can be a real beach sometimes.
Ooh.
Well, just so you know, when you start the next episode, there will be a disclaimer saying we do not hate people in wheelchairs.
Good.
But that will be 90% of the conversation.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Have it.
Sam's gonna ride this bit all the way till the end.
He's gonna ride it in a wheelchair.
He
Exactly.
is.
Because
We
as we
also didn't
say,
bring up. I love him fucking with the carts in the terminal.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
get in the
yeah.
quarters,
yeah,
Mhm.
that was a smart move.
He's figured out the quarters.
flipping the cart, knocking the kids out, and then just like tapping them on the head and then taking the.
And then Kumar Palana just constantly just waiting for people to slip on the wet floor. That was also a lot of fun. This is the only fun I have all day.
And
I,
then just
I love his anger when Tom or Victor goes and grabs the mop and he's like, "No, you're not allowed to touch
You
that.
touch
That
my
is
mop, I'll kill you.
I like how he also tells him to make an appointment.
Mm-hmm.
Let's make an appointment.
And then I love that that's the day. It's on Tuesdays, and later in the movie, Tom Hanks is like, "Tuesday's my least favorite day of the week because he's not gotten that goddamn appointment.
Yep.
Keeps getting pushed away."
Yep. Poor bastard. I also love the scene with the construction workers where he's just like, what is he doing? I can't ask him what he's doing. I'm supposed to tell him what he's doing. Otherwise, I look like an idiot.
I like how the other random dude, Harry, he was like, yeah, Harry's sending him in to make me look bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, who the fuck is Harry?
Pull him off. That's a whole separate movie that we don't get to see.
Stanley Tucci being salty because he's like, "How much are they paying him?" And you're like, "Oh, I think they're paying him under the table." It's like, "I know that, but how much are they paying him?" And it's like, "That's more than I make."
Uh-huh. It's like, have you heard about this? The pool for when he's finally going to get out of here? I got January 7th. That's when he gets pissed off and tries to throw him in the brig. But
But yes.
Fantastic movies.
Well, yeah, some great movies.
mhm.